them. So today I'm going to be reviewing a viral video today and making like millions of dollars, all the publicity I get and all the views that you, the sheep fans, give me, because I'm like such an attention whore and money whore. It's not like Undertaker, Freak 1127 or Archfiend or Cameo Bams or like right or anything. I'm not a dumbass or anything like that. Or not like I'm going to be assassinated by anyone or anything. Piece of shit. Hi, this is the Archfiend.
Oh, MrRepzion, did you mess up? Naughty, naughty MrRepzion. For those of you who don't know, MrRepzion just made a video about Undertaker Freak 1127. Now I know like it's like, oh my god, you're just jumping to save your friend here. Well no, because Undertaker Freak did all the saving of his ass on his own. He owned up for what he felt was wrong. I don't really see him as doing anything too much of anything wrong, but we'll get to that in a second. But Undertaker Freak was the quote-unquote bigger man in this situation and owned up to this. Now, MrRepzion, and the video in question from Undertaker Freak was a video from, I do believe it was like 2 years ago. He had to dig really deep to try and find something to quote-unquote frame Mr. Undertaker Freak 1127 with. And it was a video where UTF said something that was very broad and over the top that he was just basically using for comedic effect. That could be interpreted as Undertaker Freak wanted this person to walk out into traffic and commit suicide. As Undertaker Freak said in the video he made earlier today, he wants MrRepzion to be on point and call out anyone, even if they're making an over-the-top assertion of someone to commit suicide. He wants MrRepzion to be on the forefront and call out all these people. I agree with that. He should. And you know what? He should do that with me too, because and in all seriousness, I'm actually for some people that want to commit suicide. That's right, I'm not bullshitting with you, and I'm not saying this just to make like an over-the-top asinine comparison or anything like that. I'm actually for some people that want to commit suicide, and as a matter of fact, MrRepzion's, the title of MrRepzion's video today was, Is Encouraging Suicide Okay? I could tell you, not only do I condone suicide in certain circumstances, I absolutely encourage it. Absolutely. Now, I'll tell you exactly what I mean by that. And I don't encourage people that are getting bullied on or stuff along those lines or gotten too many fights and lost every fight in school to say, oh, I don't want to live in this world, and they put a gun in their mouth and shoot themselves. No. I encourage suicide of people that are just scumbags. People that are just the absolute worthless of the most worthless piles of shit in society. I absolutely encourage them to commit suicide. For instance, there's people that commit crimes that aren't in maybe states that don't have a death penalty, or just crimes that are just way worse, in my opinion, than someone who actually kills someone. For instance, Bernie Madoff. All right, Bernie Madoff is someone that ripped off people to the tune of, for his own profit, hundreds of millions of dollars, and he didn't kill anyone with what he did. He basically ruined lives. He took people that had invested money for their futures, money that these people needed to live off of, and it's gone. And these people are going, well, what do we do when we retire? Who knows? They have no money. Their entire pensions are gone. They're ripped off of tens, in some cases, hundreds of thousands of dollars that these people had invested. They're gone. No way to put their kids through college. No way that they know of to pay the bills when they're unable to work a job. Everything is gone. So, someone like Bernie Madoff, he hasn't done anything to directly kill anyone, but the irony of it is his son did kill himself, which I find interesting because you gotta wonder what brought his son to that circumstance. And when I was hearing that news story and just everything about Bernie Madoff, I go, my God, why doesn't this guy just do us all a favor and just kill himself? Now, is that really wrong to say? And if I was to see Bernie Madoff in public, I could tell you right now, well, I can't see him in public, he's obviously in jail, but I would tell him straight up, you know, I really wish that people like you would kill themselves. Is that wrong to say? Is that okay to encourage suicide at that point, Mr. Repzion? Are you going to make a video about me because I encourage someone like that to kill themselves? Because let me ask you this. Even though this guy didn't kill anyone per se, what's to say a number of these people, once the reality sets in that their lifelong earned pensions are gone and they're unable to pay the bills, they're unable to help get their kids through college, and life falls apart, what's to say that a number of these people end up killing themselves from the grief of their life? Would it be okay to say that Bernie Madoff should be some way indirectly held accountable for those that killed themselves from his actions, be it either directly or indirectly? How about that show To Catch a Predator? Have you ever seen that show? I remember a couple years ago, there was a guy that got busted. I don't believe he was busted on the show. It was part of the perverted justice thing. And he was caught, you know, with giving perverted dialogue to someone who he thought was like a 13 or 14-year-old in a chat room. And the police were going to arrest him the next day. And I forget the exact parameters, but to make a long story short, he knew he was coming to be arrested for what he did. And when the police got there, he put a gun to his head and blew his brains out. Now, I remember hearing that story, and I go, am I supposed to feel sorry? Am I supposed to feel that the police did something wrong, that perverted justice did something wrong? I look at that as, you know, hey, it's just some scumbag pedophile fuck that ridded his existence from the planet. That's a job well done as far as I'm concerned. Now I know people are going to be like, oh no, someone like that could be rehabbed and all that. Please, in the words of Undertaker Freak, get that shit out of here. I look at that as one less scumbag on the planet, one less person clogging the judicial system, one less trial that needs to be tried, less man hours taken up for everything, and the world is a better place with one less pedophile. So, if I saw someone like that and I went face to face, I'd be like, you know what, I really have no problem if you want to kill yourself, if you're going to just, you know, be a predator of small children. Yeah, I think I would be fine with you killing yourself. As a matter of fact, you should kill yourself. Do you have a problem with that, Mr. Repzion? How about this last one, Mr. Repzion? Because this is one that I personally like the best. Not that it's, you know, really nice thing to say. I like, you know, one form of suicide over the other. Let's say someone's deathly ill. As a matter of fact, we'll keep this to me. Let's just say my own mother is deathly ill. Let's say she has a number of things like leukemia, cancer, just any number of things that basically have numbered her days with absolute certainty. My mother is living in pain and suffering. She's being able to sustain herself with medications. Though her life is numbered, she's going to spend the rest of her life in agonizing suffering, delirium, just a total, just out of mind consciousness of the world. And you know what? I can't stand to see her like this. And you know, maybe my mother just has enough cognitive thought in her mind to say, I don't want to suffer anymore. I don't want to incriminate you or anyone else. But I just want you to know, I just want to die. And I'm willing to kill myself to end the suffering. You know what, Mr. Repzion? I would tell my own mother, I would be fine if you killed yourself. Is that okay, Mr. Repzion? Am I offending you with all this talk and all these scenarios of people that I wish would just kill themselves? Is it okay that I'm encouraging suicide? Do you have a problem with me talking about this? Well, anyways, he had a problem with Undertaker Freak 1127 making just some broad, over-the-top line that was just basically being used for comedic effect. Was it a bit tactful or terse compared to most comedic tastes? Probably. Was it within the guise of free speech? Sure, of course, you could say anything as far as free speech goes. But MrRepzion decided to attack him. And his own fans, MrRepzion that is, are attacking him from this. Son, you're doing this wrong. I don't know what realm you decide to dive into, but I just want to give you a little advice. Back out of it. Because you're on waters that you don't want to tread on, son. And I don't mean to be talking down to you like I'm some godfather or anything like that, because I'm not. I'm just letting you know. Think a little more before you make a complete fool out of yourself. Think a little more about what you say. I know you want to sound like you're all just like, touching, and you just want to, save the kids from killing themselves. That's all well and good. Just don't pick someone that you have a personal vendetta against to make your point on, because that's exactly what it was. You didn't like him because he made a video calling you out for your bullshit about SXEPhil. And I'm the last person on earth that wants to stand up for that scumbag piece of crap SXEPhil. But my God, if you're going to make a video about SXEPhil and not have any proof to back up your claims, then yes, someone like Undertaker Freak is going to call you out. Someone like me would call you out. Someone with a functioning brain should call you out. And that's exactly what happened. Deal with it. I know you got a grudge with what UTF made about you, and you had to scratch and claw till you found something you thought you could cling on, and it backfired on you. And if you want to come at me, oh boy, I'll bury you 10 times worse. Fucking bring it, son. Bring it! Ha ha!